Kurt, here's another post from Tommy Robinson.
Mm-hmm.
So do you know what this is? Do you know what this is, Kurt?
Yeah, that's from Podesta's brother's art collection, I believe, right? That came out during Pizzagate.
Oh.
So John Podesta, his brother Tony Podesta.
Yeah.
This was in his art collection.
Yeah.
Artwork by Kim Noble. John Podesta's brother Tony owns some of Noble's artwork, and that's artwork. And so what does that look like to you? It looks horrible. It looks horrible.
I mean, it don't look good, does it? As I said, I'm annoyed about it. It's weird that Tommy Robinson would work with Israel after knowing that Epstein and all this stuff is connected, but whatever.
That is gross. Yeah, I've heard about the artwork of Tony Podesta. I have heard about that.
Jenna's going to do a bad art podcast about it because she did Epstein's house art before anybody. Yeah, and I think you had that reporter on from local news. I can't remember what state it was, and he went over what all the Pizzagate thing was about, and then lost his job. But he did a very reasonable thing. Yeah, so that guy, that's why I first saw this. And I looked back into Pizzagate, everybody, if you thought that was just completely made up. I maybe would pull your head out of your ass and look back into it.
So they never explained what they meant. So this comes from John Podesta's emails where they would refer to say, maybe you should take that kid and have a pizza with them, right? So they kept using these code words, and pizza was one of them.
And Obama ordered $60,000 worth of hot dogs and pizza, which just so happened to be FBI code for what child traffickers call kids when they do what this art depicts to them.
Yeah. So it's really wild that you weren't allowed to, so whatever you're not allowed to ask questions about, there's something there. 9/11, Building 7. You weren't allowed to ask questions about Seth Rich. Now the FBI won't release his laptop for 65 years. You weren't allowed to ask questions about the COVID virus or the vaccine. You weren't allowed to ask questions about the lockdown, all that stuff. And so whenever you're not allowed to ask questions about something, there's something there. And you weren't allowed to ask questions about Pizzagate. If you were, you're crazy. Just like if you ask questions about 9/11, you're a truther. You're a conspiracy theorist.
Yeah.
So if you ask questions about Pizzagate and what the heck those code words meant in John Podesta's emails, they had to shame when it comes that hard. Remember, all I did was I covered a press conference by an investigator from the D.C. Police Department who was hired by the family of Seth Rich to investigate it. He did a press conference. I covered it. They put me in a hit piece in the Washington Post calling me a conspiracy theorist along with white supremacists and Nazis and pedophiles to try to demonize YouTube, and they put me in that.
Dirtbag left, I believe you
because they called me the head of the dirtbag left because I asked reasonable questions any reporter would ask about an unsolved murder in Washington, D.C. It's an unsolved murder, and you're not allowed to ask questions about it. And so that's when I knew. And so same thing here. You weren't ever allowed to ask questions about 9/11, Seth Rich, COVID, and Pizzagate. You're not. So there's definitely something there.
You remember when Andrew Breitbart died? Now, I was never a fan of him back in the day. But I remember he had that heart attack at 40 or whatever it was. And that was right after he was on Twitter joking about how John Podesta is a child trafficker. And he can't believe that people are like John Podesta when he's a well-known child trafficker in D.C. This was on Twitter. But back then it wasn't a big... See, when these things were being posted, like this disgusting art on Instagram, that launched the Pizzagate thing because these psychopaths were posting this right and left. But nobody was looking at the time. So Andrew Breitbart made tweets about it. Then he goes on Greg Gutfeld's show, Red Eye. And him and Greg, get this, I listened to a recording of it. They're making jokes about playing ping pong and Comet Pizza because of what a creep Podesta is. And I thought it was fake. So I messaged Greg and I go, you guys really had that conversation back then? And he goes, yeah, scary, right? Yeah, it was. Thanks for saying something. Thanks for bringing it up a lot, like I would have if that happened to me.
So Delete Your Handler says they don't collect art, they collect trauma in frames. This isn't expression, it's confession, wrapped in abstraction so public won't scream. The painting isn't disturbing because it's symbolic, it's disturbing because it's not symbolic. The elites don't hide what they are.
They just did a full Holocaust of Palestinians in front of your dumb faces. You think they can't hide this?
They display it proudly, publicly, pretending it's edgy, while their victims never make it out of the basement. Tony Podesta didn't hang this in secret. He hung it in his foyer. Because the real spell isn't the painting, it's that no one tears it down. So I don't know if you saw these paintings.
Yeah, I've seen them all.
I mean, it's just I barely can even look at them, but Tony Podesta's hanging those types of paintings in his foyer at his house. John Podesta's brother.
Jenna just did an episode on these brothers in England and their art, and it is upsetting when you see what was in. You see what was in all of their. It's been around for a while. They've just been openly doing this. Go back and watch 80s movies. Every single thing in an 80s comedy you would call rape now.
Yeah. Hey, but
is that weird to anybody?
You remember whatever happened to that story? Remember the tunnels under the synagogues in New York, and they found mattresses with what appears to be blood stains? You remember that?
I don't know who has thrown out a mattress in their life that wasn't covered in all kinds of stains, but I know them kind of Jews are going to use it as wall insulation and go a little cheap on that.
But what was that? Do you know what the end of that story was, James? I don't either.
I have no idea.
Hey, there's all these tunnels.
But you can't. There's another thing you can't talk about. If you do a story,
you're not allowed to talk
Russell
about it.
Russell did a bunch of stories about it. Dobular when he was filling in. Ask Russell, he'll tell you. I think that you'll probably find them. They're Ninja Turtles. That's what we found.
Oh, remember when he made this joke?
In this room are some of the most important TV and film executives in the world. People from every background, but they all have one thing in common. They're all terrified of Ronan Farrow. He's coming for you. He's coming for you. Look, talking of all you perverts, it was a big year. It was a big year for paedophile movies. Surviving R. Kelly, Leaving Neverland, Two Popes. Shut up. I don't care. No one cares about movies anymore. No one goes to the cinema. No one really watches network TV. Everyone's watching Netflix. This show should just be me coming out going, well done, Netflix, you win everything. Good night. But no, we got to drag it out for 3 hours. You could binge watch the entire first season of Afterlife instead of watching this show. That's a show about a man who wants to kill himself because his wife dies of cancer. And it's still more fun than this. Okay?
That's a show.
Spoiler alert, season 2 is on the way. So in the end, he obviously didn't kill himself. Just like Jeffrey Epstein. Shut up. I know he's your friend, but I don't care. You had to make your own way here in your own plane, didn't you? So, if you do win an award tonight, don't use it as a platform to make a political speech, right? You're in no position to lecture the public about anything. You know nothing about the real world. Most of you spent less time in school than Greta Thunberg. So, if you win, right, come up, accept your little award, thank your agent and your God, and off. Okay?
Tom Cruise can't because he's a hardcore dark Baal worshiper. So that's why he's like, I'm supposed to say that. I'm America's uncle. I'm supposed to worship the dark god Baal on stage? I can't. I'm Tom Hanks.
So if you'd like to hear me make those Epstein jokes, you can hear me in Rutherford, New Jersey, Edmonton, Calgary, Vancouver, Appleton, Wisconsin, Rosemont, Illinois, Chicago, Louisville, Kentucky, and Fort Wayne, Indiana. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets.
All these worthless actors are now talking about Epstein because it might hurt Trump.
All
of them.
Oh
my God!
Before it was a groan line. Now it's like, yay!
Beach Ken Kyle can't get enough of it all of a sudden.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, they're all. Oh, now you guys think there's something to this Epstein thing. That's interesting. And the reason they're all cocky about it is because they know Trump won't rat them out. Because he can't. Because if the truth came out about how extensive what they've been doing is, and that includes the Diddy case, and the Franklin scandal, and Nickelodeon scandal, and the Disney scandal, and Marc Dutroux in Europe, and that's the home of the EU in Belgium, the West, the precious West that we have to protect from Islam and aliens or whatever, that will collapse. That fat family that goes to, Big Lots and eats Strombolis with the Rizzler, they will put their fried dough down and tear Tom Hanks apart with their bare hands if they find out the truth. So Trump can't do it.
That is not a joke. That's back.
Okay.
Hunter Biden's going, no, Epstein didn't kill himself. What are you talking about? You see Hunter Biden?
Yes.
He's not buying it.
Yeah. John Podesta's friend who debunked Pizzagate was arrested for. Look what he was arrested for.
He's not the only one. There's another guy too. Two of the foremost ones. Him and there's another dude who looks even more of a toy box, hidden in the toy box guy. Yeah, isn't that interesting?
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah. It's
John
real
Podesta's
weird.
friend who debunked Pizzagate arrested for diddling toddlers.
And all around Washington, they all know it's not bullshit. Okay, and I know that for a fact because of my friends that I've known for many years that are reporters. And I'm not going to tell you a story on air, but way back when I didn't care about this, somebody I know calls me up and tells me something crazy. And I go, what? Yeah, no, if you do a little digging, you'll find out. But it's dangerous too.
But do you see this? So that's John Podesta and his brother Tony, and then some kids got kidnapped, and they gave a sketch of who they thought they were.
Yeah, Skippy and his brother.
People say it looks like them. I don't know.
You don't know? I mean, it's unbelievable. I've never seen a police sketch even be that good in my life before that.
It's a pretty good sketch.
There you go, Spaceman Clinton. The corruption runs too deep within every Western. That's right. Look at this. This is crazy. This girl taped to a table. They were openly posting this for years on Instagram.
Whoa.
Whoa. I've never.
Yeah, nobody looked at it at the time. They just dismissed it because it's too awful. That can't be real.
That can't.
And that's how you hide secrets, with shame and degradation that no one wants to talk about. And that's a perfect way to not. You could disguise anything using that's why they do this.
Come see us on tour in Rutherford, New Jersey, New York, Edmonton, Calgary, Vancouver, Appleton, Wisconsin, Rosemont, Chicago, Louisville, Kentucky, and Fort Wayne, Indiana. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets.